larger than life. But at first, I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like,
He was amazing, yet right away, I could have done without him, and all you realize I didn't. I thought he was my yuck. I could have done without him since I seen. And I were totally different, that way the basic inquiry. It's hard it requires such a lot of trust. And keeping in mind that Jennifer was higher up. He was down there getting a fellatio from her. Did she at any point figure out she know now j.lo has been exceptionally quiet with regards to her past with Diddy, and these new claims about him being a yet, as far as we might be aware j.lo could have verged on being one of Diddy's casualties. A few new subtleties are beginning to surface about how Diddy attempted to control j.lo and treat her the same way he later treated Cassie, yet j.lo figured out how to get away. And obviously one reason Diddy became focused on Cassie is on the grounds that she seemed to be a youthful j.lo. So what was the straw that broke the camel's back for j.lo to leave Diddy? And how has Jennifer responded to Diddy being uncovered for these disgusting demonstrations? We should get into it. Jennifer remains by her man and issues. A few assertions to the press, she an assertion, saying I was a puffy the entire evening. And didn't have a firearm, she just said, look, you realize I love Cena. I will accompany him in obviously Scene's collection at the opportunity was approaching out was perpetually she said I need to be with him, always. Do you all recollect that film Enough, where j.lo played a Deb casualty who figures out how to retaliate against her significant other wellward on the road? Is that this film was roused by j.lo's relationship with Diddy. The timetable is fascinating without a doubt in light of the fact that j.lo acknowledged the job in Enough soon after she parted ways with Diddy in February 2000, and one j.lo likewise later conceded that she experienced a mental meltdown during the recording of Enough. She said I was experiencing an absence of rest, and I had a sort of mental meltdown. I froze up on set, well, not on a set, but rather in my trailer. I was as I would rather not move, I would rather not talk, I would rather do nothing. It was on that film, Enough, better believe it. I had a mental meltdown. It's additionally fascinating how the screenwriter Nicholas Kazan portrayed this film as an anecdote about the most horrendously terrible part of the male mind, that guys have been instructed generally to hope to get what they need now on the off chance that this doesn't portray Diddy perfectly. It's a well-known fact that Diddy is a huge egomaniac with control issues, and various individuals who have worked intimately with him said he was fixated on controlling ladies, even after he quit dating them as per Diddy's long-term guardian Jane Bargain. Even after Diddy and j.lo opened up to the world about their sentiment, Diddy was as yet fixated on controlling his ex Kim Watchman, and he had individuals chasing after her to see which men she was conversing with. He didn't believe Kim should manage. No one brother we would take off from Jennifer's home. He would call a sitter on the off chance that Kim was making the rounds. We was going to each recognize in New York City that the sitter thought she was at, do you hear me, in any event. Well, he wasn't managing her. He needed full oversight over her life. And glancing back at how Diddy treated j.lo, it seems as though he attempted to control her too. As a matter of fact, it proceeded long after j.lo continued on toward give you only one model. Soon after j.lo accommodated with Ben Affleck, in 2021 Diddy posted an old photograph of him and j.lo clasping hands discussing some legacy Thursday look. This is reading material egotist conduct. And when Diddy did a meeting with Vanity Fair several months after the fact, he tried to pass off a flagrant lie and guaranteed his post was totally irrelevant to j.lo reuniting with Ben. I don't not have anything to say regarding her relationship or her life, Diddy told Vanity Fair. Now we additionally realize that Diddy undermined j.lo continually while they were dating, and keeping in mind that simultaneously being really controlling of her, he would try and make an appearance to her film sets and cause a ruckus when he figured out she had a kissing scene like the time she was shooting The Wedding Organizer with Matthew MCC. What I shooting today, the last thing gracious that is warm, What's the last thing, sister? The remainder of what ain't no kissing, continuing right, better believe it. He definitely dislikes with us stuff like that. Better not be no kissing going on. Dislike a kiss like a kiss like, with tongue in dislike, we kiss it, resembles a somewhat latest possible moment. In what dislike we kiss, I believe it's senseless, kissing tea. 'Cause I'm an entertainer, and I realize that it simply amounts to nothing. And you don't mind again, Diddy was undermining j.lo the entire time. Jen Bargain even saw him getting it on with Kareen Stephens while j.lo was in the house. And keeping in mind that Jennifer was higher up, he was down there getting a fet from. Did she at any point figure out she know now? And you said the female name was Karen. Definitely superhead gracious oak Karan Steppen. You got to say the complete name, man, better believe it. I thought it was her. So Diddy was attempting to do exactly the same thing with j.lo that he had recently finished with Kim Watchman, and later with Cassie. Yet j.lo had areas of strength for a group. And in addition to, she was at that point renowned by her own doing, so she figured out how to get away from in the nick of time. And the straw that broke the camel's back for j.lo was seeing Diddy purportedly shoot up a club and let his companion Sparkle accept any consequence for it. The occurred in 1999 inside Midtown's Club New York, where Diddy, j.lo, and Sparkle had been celebrating. As per Paper magazine, at around 2:20 toward the beginning of the day, Diddy unintentionally caught a man spilling his beverage. And this man turned out to be Matthew Allen, otherwise known as Scar, a Brooklyn ex-con. Scar supposedly tossed a couple of fat stacks, enveloped by elastic groups, in front of Diddy. And he additionally made a few remarks about Diddy squandering cash out of the blue. All of a sudden things warmed up and shots rang out concurring. As per various observers, a portion of the shots came from Diddy's weapon. And 3 clubgoers wound up harmed, with one lady enduring a shot to the face. Diddy and j.lo immediately left the scene and got away from in his 1999 Lincoln Guide. Yet they wound up getting pulled over subsequent to running a red light. Turns out they had a taken 9mm hand reserved in the storage compartment, and they were both captured. Yet the bad dream wasn't over for j.lo. She spent the following 14 hours secured, and one police source said she was crying and wailing insanely the entire time. And Diddy's protector likewise got captured for their contribution in the occurrence, and Sparkle wound up carrying out a 10-year jail punishment. Diddy anyway figured out how to evade a prison spell, thanks to his powerful legitimate group, highlighting big shots like Johnny Cochran and Benjamin Braffin. Diddy's attorneys effectively contended that Diddy was acting with good reason. Yet the word on the road was that Diddy left Sparkle hanging, and Jane Bargain spilled that Diddy put the pressure on witnesses, pushing them to flip and affirm against Sparkle. Ought to your brother pay attention to me, you all consultation it from me. Yet Scene said it himself in his meeting. You expected to be my sibling, and you got individuals affirming against me. Those individuals were